by the way. We see straight away in the first half, Arsenal were actually pretty decent. The moment that Thomas Partey came off, our midfield, we lost control in again. Kai Havertz, very underwhelming performance.
Was it?
Very underwhelming performance, Tell. And then what worried me even more is the fact that kind of late last night, I just had to have an emergency meeting kind of thing because Arteta's post-match interview came up on my phone. So I thought, well, I'll give a little listen to this, see what he's got to say. And he told the press that he doesn't have a role for Kai Havertz at Arsenal. Interesting.
Oh, no. Do you believe that, though? Do you believe that? Or is he not going to tell? He's not going to go out and tell the media.
Why would you reveal secrets?
Brennan, why would you tell the world your plans?
Oh, no doubt about it. Like, I'm not expecting him to turn around and say, yeah, this is his position. This is where I'm going to play him. I'm not expecting that. But it's just the way he worded things, the way he said it. Like, it was something along the lines of, I've got to get to know him and build a relationship with him. What is it? Love Island?
You know what I mean? You know what the irony is? He got played in left. He got played in a position that everyone's been saying he's going to play in as a left centre mid.
On in the 8 role where Granit Xhaka played for Arsenal, and it was very, very underwhelming. But at the same time, I'm not going to overly criticise him because the whole team was poor. Balogun missed about 3 opportunities as well that he should have scored. And like I say, we lost control in the midfield the moment Thomas Partey went off. So all these Arsenal fans that are calling for Thomas Partey to leave, I'd rethink your strategy because it's clear to see that he's still very important to this team.
Brandon, it's only your first pre-season game, though. Come on, it's not. These games don't actually mean anything other than people getting.
They do. They do mean a lot. Pre-season means a lot.
I'll tell you something.
No. Okay, I'm not going over the top. Like again with Havertz, he was underwhelming yesterday. I saw his cameo. I wasn't impressed. It is where it is. His first pre-season back, first game for Arsenal, fitness, etc. But I think it does matter in terms of fitness and actually getting a style of play, especially with new players as well. Like who impressed me in your team, Brandon, yesterday was that 16-year-old.
And this is the thing.
What's his name? Minari?
You're going to point it out now.
He was good.
You're going to point it out now. Like in pre-season, players that are on the fringes, players that are coming in to learn new system, new signings, whatever it may be. That's the opportunity to actually show what you've got. This young 16-year-old kid, Ethan Wanyeri, who signed a scholarship with Arsenal, he was the best player on the pitch by a country mile. You could see that he had the drive, the passion, everything about his game was exceptional yesterday. And that's what I like to see from players in pre-season, players that are coming in, that are actually fighting and saying, look, I'm going to give the manager a decision to make. Kai Havertz come on yesterday at half-time. And he just kind of lumbered about the pitch.
Do you know what it was, Brandon? It was literally his performance, right? I know it's pre-season, but his performance was literally a continuation of what I've been seeing at Chelsea. Like, on the ball, he wasn't great. He was very sloppy. Physically, even the 16-year-old looks more bulked up than him. Do you know what I mean? Like, he came on and he was demanding the ball, trying to make things happen. Do you know what I mean? I thought Havertz would come in and try and make things happen, try and get on the ball. And he was a ghost pretty much all the game. Again, it's pre-season. I'm not going to go over the top. But I was impressed with Minari yesterday. He was really good.
Again, the reason why I worry about Arteta's comments at the end of the game on Kai Havertz is because of the way he said, well, we don't really know where he's best suited. And I'm like, okay, that's fair enough. You don't know where he's best suited. Nobody really knows his best position because he was played in all sorts of positions at Chelsea. And it just didn't work out for him at Chelsea. But I would have thought that if you're going to go and spend 65 million on Kai Havertz...
Exactly.
Oh no.
They took him away. They're complaining. They took him out. In the comments, they're complaining. They're saying he doesn't defend Arsenal enough.
Igau's hijacked his Wi-Fi. Igau's shut that down.
Igau's fuming in the comments.
Lobbins, as obviously someone that was a close rival of Arsenal last season, do you think Brandon's maybe overreacting a little bit here to a pre-season result?
Yeah, I don't give pre-season any credence at all. Just from a Man City perspective, like we're normally terrible in pre-season, we're normally terrible in the Community Shield, it's terrible in the first few games, but then the season starts, properly in earnest, and then we pop off. So yeah, I don't give preseason any genuine thoughts. Yeah, and to be fair, I think the Brandon's maybe the only Arsenal fan I've encountered who isn't positive about next season. I think that if anything, I think most Arsenal fans maybe the other way. Maybe they're a bit too gung-ho. Like I've seen some people say they're their favourites to win the title. I was going to ask Brandon what his thoughts were on that, but yeah, I think that it's a little bit reactive in terms of like the negativity. It is pre-season, it doesn't matter. It is going to take Arteta time to get used to Havertz and vice versa. So I think it is a little bit too reactive. And Brandon's here now, so I was going to ask you, mate, where you seem quite negative. So are you?
I wouldn't say it's reactive though, Nobbins. I think what Brandon's doing is literally just describing what he saw, and there's nothing wrong with that. Do you know what I mean? It's not reactive.
I didn't say there was. I'm just making the point that I don't really give any credence to preseason.
Okay.
But your team doesn't need preseason. We understand why. The start of the league is
my level.
The start of the league, like the first 10 games, is your preseason, and then you end up winning the league.
Yeah.
So that's why you're saying that. Us here, we actually need preseason. But like,
see, my issue with it, right, is like I said, he doesn't really have a set. Nobody really knows his best position because he was played in all sorts of positions at Chelsea. But I thought that Arteta going out there and pushing for Kai Havertz to join Arsenal, and then the reports are that he had to convince the board that this was a good signing and this would fit in the way that he wants to kind of move the team forward. To go out there and spend 65 million on a player who's been, let's be real, very average in the Premier League, right? I would have thought he'd have at least had a plan for Kai Havertz. It doesn't sound that way in the way that he was speaking yesterday. It sounds like he's trying him out in loads of different positions, seeing where he works best. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, if you're going to bring in Kai Havertz, at least have a plan on where you're going to play him. At the moment, he's just trying him out in all different types of positions, which is exactly what we see at Chelsea, which tells me that, again, he's a jack of all trades, master of none. And we ain't got time to be giving players like Kai Havertz chances in all different types of positions when we're supposed to be fighting for a league title next season.
I actually wanted to defend you on that point, Brendan. Sorry, Patrick, give me 1 second. I was actually going to defend you on that point because, like, you guys said, Terry, you just said, well, like, why would he reveal his plans? You don't necessarily have to reveal your plans, but, like, Arsenal fans all along been getting from rivals that were saying to them, you spent 65 million on a player that you don't know where you're going to use him at. And then your manager comes out and says the same thing. That doesn't really fill you with confidence. Now, ideally, the answer could have been like, well, you know, instead of revealing my plans, I could have just simply said, like, listen, I spoke with Kai Havertz. He knows where I'm going to play him this season. He knows his best position. We already talked about the play. You could have said it in any other way where, like, listen, we discussed it internally. I'm not going to put it out there, but he knows. Instead, he comes out and basically says, well, I don't know. And that doesn't fill me. If I'm an Arsenal fan, it doesn't fill me with confidence because I'm sitting here, rivals were telling me that, and then my manager said that, so my rivals were right. They weren't just hating on me. They were actually saying, when Chelsea fans are saying, you don't know his best position because we couldn't figure it out for 3 years, that's not Chelsea fans trolling me. That's them telling the truth. And now my manager said the same thing. So that would, if I'm Brandon, I would be a little bit worried.
And just to add to that, Staffy, when they signed him, Arteta actually said he's going to bring strength and quality to our midfield. He literally said that. That was his own words. So if they want to talk about Arteta and his words, your manager literally said he's going to bring something to our midfield. And then now he's sort of going back on it and saying we don't really know. You know, I'm sort of paraphrasing here.
I do get that, boys, but I think you're paying far too much time and attention to the way we analyze what managers say nowadays. It's like we're a jury and we're forensically analyzing what they've said to prove them to be liars. Are they truthful? Like we're going to vote them in to run our country or to look after our children or something mad. Like I think you're going a little bit too far over the top. Sometimes managers won't say, remember, managers are not trained orators and speakers. They will often, and a lot of our managers, English is not their first language, even if they speak very good English. So they sometimes don't always use the right words, or they may kind of mess something up. And I just think we take it far too literally. Of course, they don't know yet the best place for Kai Havertz to play because everything's theory until he joins your team, right? No matter how many scouting reports you have, no matter how much you watch him, until he comes to your training sessions and plays in your team, you never quite know exactly where he's going to go. I don't think he's going to reveal his hand. And some people will say I'm just defending Arsenal again. No, I'm about not being a hypocrite. And I talk about Man United fans focusing far too much on the things Ten Hag says rather than what he actually does. What somebody does is far more important. And I just don't. So I think preseason is important in terms of fitness, getting your team playing well. I do think there are elements of importance around it. But I think your first game, when you make mass changes at half time, typically teams find that difficult. I think there is a slight overreaction. And again, reacting to what rivals are saying, I'll be honest with you, Staffy, be stronger. Be stronger. Like rivals will say, Man United being called cheats online right now. We you know, and I know because we've read what's happened. United didn't cheat. We just lost more money than we expected to lose, and it was based on a forecast. Now it's not controllable by the. It's not control. We're not in complete control of that as a club. What comes in, we know we didn't cheat. I don't care if rivals say I'm a cheat because I know the truth.